Oh well, it's that time of the year again, and most of us are stressed. Why? Because we hate completing our tax returns. There always seems to be questions that we don't understand the reason behind. And when we get the answer, we're simply unsatisfied with it. But not tonight. It's a back to basics, thinking logically and moving forward approach as we break down income tax requirements tonight on The Law Factor Live.
The views expressed in this program are those of the host and guests and in no way represent those of DBS and are not intended to authoritatively determine decision-making processes. The Factor Live is brought to you by compliments of Lime, Organica, AF Valmore, EC Global Insurance, G4S Secure Solutions, Skin Science, Rainforest Hideaway, Mango Beach Inn, Cars for Rent, Rituals Coffee House, MAC Cosmetics, Illumines, Transit TV, Carpet Media, Prestige Auto Holdings Limited, Ferens Dairy, Seasons Infinity Color Shop, and Star Publishing.
Hello and welcome to The Law Factor Live. I'm Delia Delore. There are three things in life you cannot avoid: living, dying, and paying your taxes. Tonight we hope to make it easier to do at least one, paying income tax. And maybe that will make everything else better. Let's get some answers that will help us feel better when we pay our income tax. Let's question what is considered negative, but then get on to complying with positivity. After all, it's compulsory. There is absolutely nothing we can do about it, so let's just face it and get on with it. Tonight we'll ask why the current level of tax contributions are what they are. We'll ask whether there are any exceptions, and we pose many questions viewers asked us prior to the program. We've two expert tax experts as our guests. Before the questions though, housekeeping. It's March. It's International Women's Month, with the day being celebrated next Thursday, March 8th. So don't forget that The Law Factor Live has asked you to tell us of a woman you think deserves recognition. It could be a neighbor, a friend, someone whose contribution in your community you've admired, or someone St. Lucia should be proud of. All you need to do is give us their name, and your contact numbers. Our information is on the screen. Already we've received over 30 names, so let's try and add a few more before the deadline, which is tomorrow at 4 p.m. Later in the program, we draw live the winner of Seasons Infinity Color Shop's Color Me Mine promotion. Plus, we've gifts to help DFL viewers complete their taxes with a smile, courtesy of DFL and IVATs, and you'll hear more about them later in the show. I'm already smiling, and it's because of this jewelry. I love it. It's one of the many chic pieces available from Romani. They've got stores at JQ Charles Mall, La Place Carénage, and Rex St. Lucian. So if you get something pretty, it might make you feel good. And if you put them on whilst you're completing your tax forms, then surely you can't feel bad about that. The painting on set tonight is by Sabrina Romulus. It's called The Women, and how apt to begin International Women's Month. The painting is acrylic on canvas, and like Gary Butt's A Kiss, which we showed last month, both paintings are for sale. Housekeeping can sometimes be taxing, yeah? Excuse the pun. But right now, let's get started. Ladies first. DFL would like to welcome Marcia Vite. She's from the Inland Revenue Department. Good night and welcome to The Law Factor Live, Marcia.
Thank you for having me.
I am so looking forward to tonight because I know that you are a wealth of information, and a lot of our viewers, as I said earlier, have been posting their questions. They're very inquisitive. They really want to know what's happening. So I'm really glad that you're here.
I'll do my best to answer them.
Great, I know you will. Our second guest is Nelson Alexander. He has 25 years experience working in the audit section of the Inland Revenue Department, and he assists his wife, who operates IVATS, which is IV Accounting and Tax Services, which is located in La Toc Road. Welcome, Nelson, to The Law Factor Live.
Yeah. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, I'm glad that you're here because I spoke to you yesterday at length about my taxes, people, because I want to get my taxes in on time and properly. And I found that Nelson was very informative, knew his stuff, and provides an alternative, because I know Inland Revenue, they do help, don't they? They do help. If people want to go to Inland Revenue and ask for, help with the forms, Inland Revenue does that. But you do have other alternatives, and Nelson is one of those. Now, before we go into the program, everyone knows by now, we have our 2 in a row questions, and also we had a tasting of Farron's ice cream. What did you have to taste, Nelson?
I had the chocolate flavor, the pistachio, and there's one I cannot really tell.
The vanilla?
I think it's vanilla.
Vanilla?
Yeah.
Which one did you like?
I think the chocolate.
Oh gosh, I knew you were going to say that. Every man that comes on the set, they seem to like the vanilla or the rum and raisin. And okay, well, you're just following what the men do. Chocolate, okay, fine, fair enough. Marcia, which flavor did you like?
I had the vanilla and strawberry and a little chocolate. Vanilla is my favorite.
Okay, and you were telling us an interesting story about Farron's ice cream. Share it with our viewers.
Yeah, I was just saying that, I have a little girl, a little daughter that she sucks down. So I'm saying to her, can you please stop? If you stop, I'm going to get you whatever you ask. And she chooses ice cream. So she walks into Mega G and picks up the big bucket of Farron's ice cream. Out of all the choices there, she picks up the vanilla swirl and is telling us how she's going to share with, her bigger sister and so on. That was her choice.
And she did it?
She's carrying it right to the. I say, can you help
me?
Can I carry it for you?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Great stuff. Wow, good for her. And I'm sure you enjoyed it too.
Oh, I will.
Yeah. I wish I was there. I could enjoy some as well. But now it's time for 2 in a row. And I'm going to go with ladies first. Marcia, your question. If you could change your name to anything in the world, what would your new name be?
That is challenging. Huh?
It's challenging? Okay.
When you think of it, you'd say, I know Marcia was named after my father. Female for Marcus.
Okay.
So it has sentimental value.
Okay.
But if I have to change, I would want to link it to something crazy, a mix-up of my daughter's names, probably Jade Jazz or something.
Oh, you do one of those makeup names?
Yeah, something different, something that I would think no one else has.
Yeah, I find a lot of that's happening, especially abroad. There are lots of, I'd like to think it's a merging of different cultures that you get different names, but a lot of it isn't. They're taking the parents' names and merging them. And well, I call them makeup names, no disrespect, but they are makeup names because you can't find them in any books that says book of names, which I know that we've sometimes, even I feel shortchanged with a name like Delia, which is quite common in St. Lucia. In England, I was always the only Delia in my class, the only Delia in university, the only Delia where I worked. So anytime, you see those key fobs with, all your names, I would never be able to get a Delia. Never, much less the makeup names.
Well, since the children now carry the father's surname, I find the fathers usually choose the first name also. Or they make it rhyme with probably the first name or something.
Is the fathers doing that? I thought it was the mothers who did that.
No, I chose names.
Well, that's beg to differ. When they are involved.
In my case,
when the father is involved.
In my case, I let the mother choose probably 2, and I chose 2.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a give and take more or less.
Fair enough. Okay, well, Nelson, you're not going to avoid your question. If you had to give up one of your 5 senses, which one would it be and why?
If I had to give up one of my senses, I'd give up hearing. Because I think I'm tired of hearing a lot of politicians.
That's bad.
Too many gimmicks, too much promises, too many this and too much that. Yeah, so I think
you give up hearing.
You give up the hearing. Oh. It makes sense. I'm not talking about the politicians because obviously we need to hear what they're saying to make sure that we try to make the world a better place.
Yeah, most of them.
But yeah, no, it's a different way of thinking at it.
They promise the world when they get into power. What? We never see it.
Well, that's your opinion. All right, well, thank you for that, Nelson. As we go to the break, here's how to win a gift related to tonight's program. You can answer one or both questions and be entered for 2 prizes. All you have to do is tell us the names of 3 Delore Factor Life sponsors, including one that gives you tips about your security. And tell us where Ivy Accounting and Tax Services is located. Our contact information is on the screen, so we'll see you after the break.